No matter what side of the political aisle they may stand on, there is one thing many women in government have in common: motherhood. That's why more than 20 city, state, and county government officials have come together to form the bipartisan Mamas Caucus to tackle issues specific to mothers. It comes as the COVID pandemic has compounded the challenges women face at work and at home, forcing some to leave the workplace entirely in order to care for their children. Joining us now to talk about it are two of the group's co-founders, State Representative Avery Bourne, a Republican who represents parts of Central Illinois. She also serves as the Assistant Republican Leader in the House. And City Treasurer Melissa Conyers-Ervin, a Democrat who previously served as a state representative. Mothers, thanks to you both for joining us. So Representative Bourne, let's start with you, please. Why did you and the other founders want to create this caucus?
I think it's really important right now, especially when I think in politics we're so polarized, to find an issue of commonality and build on that. I think moms get a lot done. We certainly have a lot to get done, and to start at the place where we can connect, which is motherhood, I think is a good starting point. And really, I've enjoyed getting to know these moms. Now we're going to get to hear from moms on what they need from government and from policymakers.
Treasurer Conyers-Ervin, explain or describe, please, some of the challenges that you've faced navigating motherhood and your work as an elected official, which is different compared to the rest of us working moms.
Yes, and so Brandon, to your point, it's a challenge just being a working mother, right? And so it's a challenge just being a mother. And when I think about as a mother, our child or children, those are our babies. But as an elected official, sometimes we feel as if our roles, the job is another child. And I think that it's almost like a child that never sleeps as an elected official, because we are working all day, sometimes late in the evening, weekends, you name it. We do it because we love it. But we also know that support is needed, especially if we want more mothers to run for office. That's why I am such an advocate of this caucus and so excited that we are able to put this together.
Representative Bourne, what's your experience been as both a mother and a lawmaker?
Sure. I started out as an elected official, not as a mom. And so adding that layer to it, I think added some challenges, but it also helps me appreciate the gravity of the work that we do. Anyone who's is a parent understands that everything changes when you have a child, and you understand the impact these policy decisions will make generations to come. And so certainly, as Melissa said, juggling children is always adds another layer, but motherhood is such a blessing, and being able to look out for that next generation and have a different perspective, I think, is really valuable for people who hold public office.
Right, and as each of you were speaking, we were able to share some photos of you with your kids on the job, whether it be, on the House floor or other members of the caucus while they are out campaigning or working with constituents. Treasurer Conyers-Ervin, talk a little bit about the significance of this caucus forming at this moment in time, knowing the impact of the pandemic on mothers in the workplace.
I think the pandemic definitely made us more aware of what we already knew as mothers. First of all, women do it all and we do it well. But we need support, which is really the purpose of this caucus. When you open this segment speaking about how many women have left the workforce during this pandemic, I think over 2 million women left the workforce during this pandemic. Very devastating numbers, Brandis. But that really tells us that something is wrong. And I would argue that probably most of the women that left the workforce were mothers. So not only the demand of our regular jobs, but with the demand of our children and demands of our spouses and families, the pandemic just truly exposed that. So what I appreciate about this Mamas Caucus, and by the way, we are excited about this coming Saturday. I know we're going to talk about that. But what I appreciated is that we have mothers at all levels of government, and it's bipartisan, because at the end of the day, all mamas are not Republicans, all mamas are not Democrats, all mamas are not independent. And if we really want to focus on the issues of mamas, this is what it's all about.
And to that point, Representative Bourne, I'm curious about how you all are going to be able to work, across the agencies. Some of you are, city officials, obviously state representatives. So kind of what's at the top of the agenda and how is that going to work across, the different agencies and positions that you all hold?
Yeah, I think that our first priority is listening. So there are policies that are made at every level, from federal right on down to your most local governmental body, that impact people's lives every day. And so I think our first agenda item is listening. What's impacting moms' lives the most? What can we do to make Illinois the most mom-friendly state? And then what venue does that fall under? Does that fall to us in the General Assembly? Does it fall to the city? Does it fall to local municipalities? Where do we need to do that work? I think we'll get a better picture after we hear from the moms.
And one of the things, as Treasurer Irvin mentioned, you're having this town hall on Saturday focusing on employment, childcare, self-care. In the 20 seconds that we've got left, Treasurer, why are those your top 3 issues to begin with?
There are a million issues that we could speak about this coming Saturday. And please, by the way, register at mamascaucus.org. We want mothers at all throughout the state to register for this event. And as Representative Bourne said, this is just the beginning. So we chose those 3 topics, 3 very common topics that we know have affected all mothers throughout this pandemic. And so self-care, employment that we spoke about already, childcare that we know has been an issue during this pandemic. Right. Very important topics that we plan on listening this coming Saturday during our lunch.
All 3 very good places to start, and I look forward to hearing more from the Mamas Caucus down the road. For now, my thanks to State Representative Avery Bourne and City Treasurer Melissa Conyers-Irvin for joining us.